Hey everybody, welcome back. I know it's been a while since I've done a full-form content video, so we're doing something a little different today. This is a new segment called Keep It or Yeet It. And I'm just going to go through a few products that I have here that I've used over the past several months or years and let you know whether it's worth your money and time to invest in these or whether it's something you should just avoid altogether and, as it were, something that I'll be yeeting from our set of tools and items that we have here. So that said, let's jump right in. The first one is something that I've actually already done a full review on my channel, and that is the Hollyland Lark M2 microphone system. Now, you're actually hearing the audio from that right now. I obviously can't show you the whole thing because I'm using part of it. The camera receiver is on the camera right now, receiving the audio from the lapel mic that I'm actually wearing just inside my shirt here. It's been really cool to use this in this way because if I really want it to look super professional, I don't have to, pin the mic somewhere else on somebody and run a lapel up to them. I just get to hide it inside a shirt collar or whatever. Yesterday, I filmed a video with one of our other ministers here, and she had it on her blouse, and it blended in. You couldn't even tell it was there, and it was on the outside. So works out really well. Also, I bought the full set, so I've got the camera receiver, which is on there now, as well as the iPhone Lightning receiver and the USB receiver for other phones that take that kind of adapter. It's been really, really great. I bought this several months ago whenever I did that first review video, and I still have not charged the rechargeable carrying case for them. I've still got, it looks like 50% worth of charge on this. So it's been really, really awesome, super convenient, super quick to set up. This is definitely a win. This is a keep in my book. All right, next thing up is actually something that was gifted to me a couple of years ago, but they're still out there and available on Amazon, but it is an Amazon special kind of thing. These little floodlights right here, if you'll look over my shoulder and face on my arm here, you see this little bit of backlight, hairlight, whatever you want to call it, separating me from the background a little bit, giving you some dimension. That is what I use these for now. They're really cool. These are just little 15-watt IP66 water-resistant lights. I want to say the pair of them might have been $30 on Amazon. Totally worth it. You control them with a little app on your phone. I think for this version, it's called Happy Lighting. But man, they have been awesome. They're super bright. I've used these in multiple videos at this point. And when I first got them, I was actually using them as work lights. There's a couple areas on our stage here that are super dark and there's no ambient light coming to it, at least worth working in where you can see what you're doing. So I just threw these up, plug them in. They have a very, very nice warm, 3800 Kelvin kind of lamp light setting that works super well as they do a very nice bright white. But this blue you're seeing is from them, as well as some of the other videos where you've seen like red or kind of a teal cyan thing going on. That's these lights, and they've been super awesome. So they're still available on Amazon. I haven't seen the 15-watt in a little while, but there's pairs of 30-watt ones out there that are super nice. I'll link those in the description down below, as well as any other stuff here today that I deem as a keep. I'll link all that down below. But this is definitely a keep. Now, I am going to throw a yeet at you real quick. This is the Canix keyboard. This is a brand that primarily does accessories for Apple. And here's the thing. This keyboard is super awesome. When I got it, I was working primarily on a MacBook Pro that I had hooked up to a couple of monitors, but I also had a PC beside me that I needed to get to as well. And this allows for 3 different Bluetooth connections to be saved in it. It's awesome because I was able to pair it to my MacBook, do what I needed to do, and then when I needed to work on the PC, just hit the number 2 and turn, and there we go. It held that connection. The problem is if you don't use it about once to twice a week, it forgets the PC connection for some reason, and I have to pull the adapter on the PC, put it back in, delete this out, resync it. It's just not been convenient in that way. When I was using it, 3 or 4 times a week, no problem. But now that I'm only touching that PC maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a month max, I'm constantly having to repair this to it for some reason. So this is going to be a yeet for me. Is what it is. They happen. So the next one is something very cool. I was not expecting this to be a quality product at all. It was a last-minute purchase because I needed a couple of microphones to be handhelds for camp this past year, for our youth camp. And I was looking for something that didn't cost a lot of money, was super convenient, and I could leave it down in the eating area where all the kids were, in the extra speaker, so that, if it did get dropped, knocked over, busted, we weren't out $350, $400, $500. I needed something that if it got damaged, it wasn't a big deal. And so I picked up these. And my Sweetwater rep thought I was crazy when I asked for these. But this is the JBL Party Box microphone. Now, they come in a set of 2, and they're somewhere around, I don't know, $125, $150. I'll link them down below. But, dude, these have actually been really, really awesome. They work in the Wi-Fi band. The first iteration of these was UHF, but this little adapter works for both of them. You just stick it in a 1/4-inch input, click the button, click the other button, and they sync automatically. Here's the downside. This times out. Even if you keep it plugged into power, the receiver times out. So, and I think it's like a 10-minute thing. So if you go 10 minutes without using them, you have to hit this button again, which was a little inconvenient, but we got through it. That said, the mics themselves, I've been super, super impressed with. I expected, the karaoke mic kind of situation where you start talking through it and it either sounds like this, or it's like super high end and shrilly and no low end, no mids. And it was not at all. These capsules actually sound really stinking good. Now, obviously, it's a cheaper mic and it's plastic, so you do get a little bit of hand noise, but honestly, I got less hand noise out of these than I do the Shure BLX microphones. So they've been really awesome. Threw a little EQ on them. They sounded great, to the point that I actually wound up using these for my speaker at camp when he would get up and teach. This is what I would use. I wasn't even using the Beta 58 that I brought with me. I was just so thoroughly impressed by these, and I tried to get them to feed back, and they just, obviously I didn't hold it up in front of a speaker, but just walking around with it in front of the PA system the way, somebody with no microphone etiquette would, no problem whatsoever. Even high gain, I couldn't get them to feedback with normal microphone behavior. So those have been a win for me. Now, they do not come with this case. However, this cute little case here was only about $20 on Amazon. It's designed for these, and so it fits in there no problem. It's got a little net spot up here where I can put the receiver, and I bought some little wind socks just in case I wind up using these outside. And then your charging cable, and they all zip up nice and neat in this little kit. It's got a little carry band here, but this has been super awesome. So I'll use these for our bonfire here in a few weeks. I will use these for our outdoor family events. That way I don't have to drag my Shure stuff outside. It's not like somebody's, getting up and performing for 90 minutes on one of these, or we're depending on these to work at 50, 60 feet away. We're right on top of them when we're using them, so I'm not worried about it at all. That is a keep. All right, 2 more items for you. One is a keep, one is a yeet. So let me get to the yeet real quick. This is a very, very cheap, $30 monitor from Amazon. It is nothing special. It is nothing great at all. However, we initially bought this to be just a secondary monitor for our light controller to be not really time code, but basically run a list of cues on it for them. And we bought it because of the stand that's on the back, and it's supposed to be very articulating in multiple different ways, and it's really not. All you get is the ability to flip it over like a point of sale kiosk kind of situation. Here's the problem with that. I needed it to be vertical so that the list of cues that he was getting, he could see. It didn't work out that way. So what I've actually wound up using it for is just a secondary multi-view for our ProPresenter operator. And it's worked well for them, but the color is terrible, and it's not very bright. So it works when during worship when the lights are down and things like that, but during the message when lights come up or when I flip the lights on in the control room for that person, it's hard to see. It doesn't look very good. All that said, for $30, I guess it's not bad, but I would not buy this monitor again. In a future episode of Keep It or Yeet It, I do have some monitors, though, by the same company. This is Prechin, or I don't know how you want to say it. It's Prechen. But this is one of those like pop-up brands on Amazon that appears every now and then goes away, and then, the exact same product comes back with another name on it. Anyways, but it's one of those. I do have a couple of monitors from this brand, though, that are absolutely awesome. They're touchscreen, 10-point. I'll put those in a future episode of this. Now, that said, the final product for today is something that is not cheap at all, but is super worth mentioning. This is the Stomp by Coda Music. I discovered this a couple of years ago when my worship pastor actually got one. He was looking for something that could connect to multiple devices. He could just bank through it and connect to whatever device. And this does that. Basically, this is for switching music on an iPad or something along those lines. Now, it works really well with Music Stand from Planning Center. It also works really well with an app called Fourscore. And when he got this, I was still a band director. And so I got one to use here because we had done a big event where I was controlling multiple TV screens that had an instance of Music Stand projected to them, and I was controlling charts for most of the band. And so I got one of these to use with that. However, I also used it for a short time with the Fourscore app on my iPad for when I was directing bands, and it worked really well in like contest situations where I just walk in, lay my iPad down, put this on the podium, and then I didn't have to stop and swipe or anything as I'm conducting. I would just hit the button with my foot and keep going, and it was great. Super fast, super convenient. It can be powered by a regular 9-volt power supply or a 9-volt battery. So this has been great. It's got a few different modes on it that I'll let you go explore on your own, but I'll link this down below. They're not cheap, but they are getting cheaper, and I think both of these we actually got used, his and mine. So not terribly expensive there. But that is the first episode of Keep It or Yeet It. I hope you've seen something here that you enjoyed today. If you did, please like this video, subscribe down below, and share this with your friends. Our channel's growing, but slowly, so every subscription helps, and every share, every like helps. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today, and I will see you real soon.